Good afternoon. My name is Gordon Hunt, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you to our graduation ceremony in this magnificent setting of the Thomas Coates Memorial Church. This is a very special occasion. We know you're going to have a fantastic time today, and I'm here to give you an idea of how the ceremony will work. We'll ask you to stand as the processions enter. Our staff enter first, followed by members of the Senate and Court, and the final procession is the Chancellor's party, led by the Bedellas carrying the university mace. We all sit when they have taken their seats at the front of the platform. After the graduation address given today by the Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Craig Mahoney, we will be presenting Trevor Sorby, MBE, for an honorary degree. And after that, the graduands will be brought forward to receive their awards. Each graduand will be called by name by the Dean or Assistant Dean of their school or by the Principal of the Scottish Baptist College. We invite everyone to applaud each one as they come onto the platform. They will then be capped, that's a wee doff on the head, by the Chancellor, and hooded by the Bedellas, and collect their certificate parchment from the registrar as they leave the platform. You will all have someone special that you're here to support, but all our graduands are special. So please give enthusiastic applause for each and every graduand as they come onto the platform. We do ask, however, that we do this just once for each of them as they come up to be capped, so we can all hear the name of the next graduand being called. When the last graduate has left the stage, there will be a response by the honorary graduate on behalf of all those receiving awards, followed by a few closing remarks by the Chancellor. The platform party will then leave the stage and exit the hall, followed by the graduates. Please stand when the platform party stands and remain standing until all the graduates have left the hall. After the ceremony, we would like to welcome you to our graduates' reception in the Brough Hall at the campus. Should you need any assistance during the ceremony, please make yourself known to one of our marshals in the purple gowns in the aisles or at the back of the church. You'll be pleased to hear that there are no fire drills planned for today, but in the extremely unlikely event that we need to evacuate the church, a message will be read from the platform, and our marshals will assist in getting everyone out quickly and calmly. So have your cameras ready and your mobile phones on silent, please, and we'll begin at 2:30. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome. And the sun is out, it is warm, it's lovely today, to this very important day to celebrate the work, the sheer graft, the intellectual agility and genius of this wonderful group of people, our graduates this morning. My name is Eilish Angelini. I have the great privilege of being the Chancellor of this wonderful university. And I hope that today you will relax and enjoy today, because it is a day to savour this moment in your lives, the threshold of everything to come today. And please don't rush past me like a Formula One driver. Make sure you take that stage and own it, because you deserve it. Have a wonderful time this afternoon. I declare this assembly for the award of academic distinction to be in session.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, but most importantly, graduates. My name is Craig Mahoney, and it's my pleasure as Principal and Vice Chancellor of this university to welcome everybody to this beautiful venue to join in the celebrations of our graduation ceremony for the UWS class of 2017. Graduation is a special day in the university calendar, but it's actually a more important day in your lives. Students are the lifeblood of our university, and it's a privilege and an honour for my colleagues and I to share this day with you and with your family and friends. Today, we graduate the second cohort of students from our Masters of International Management, which is run in partnership with the Siberian State University in Russia. We're delighted to welcome our Russian academic colleagues and the Consular General and Vice Consul of the Russian Federation, Edinburgh, to be with us this afternoon. In this year, when we're celebrating 120 years since our foundation, 25 years with a university title, 10 years as the University of the West of Scotland, and a year when we matriculated a new coat of arms, have risen into the top 5% of universities worldwide, are ranked as one of the best universities in the world under 50 years of age, have been identified as one of the best teaching universities in the UK, established ourselves as a force for good with research achievements in engineering, science, health, culture, education and business, finished inside the top 100 universities for sport, won 2 Herald Scottish Higher Education Awards last week. This is an historic time for UWS, and so too for you as you finish the learning journey you entrusted us to help you complete by graduating today. The university corporate strategy is called Dream, Believe, Achieve, and I want to tell you a little dream I've had for a very long time. My lasting ambition has been to help educate the world. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful tool which you can use to change the world," I've always dreamed that I could help others change the world through their education journey. My dream was to take UWS higher education to the world, here in Scotland, in London, into parts of Africa, throughout Southeast Asia, into the Middle East, across parts of continental Europe, and anywhere else the UWS brand would be appreciated. In aspiring to dream, believe, achieve, you, as individuals, represent the future of the world. With your new UWS qualifications, you will now shape society and become leaders of the future. The economy and our planet are depending upon you. To emphasise that point, at a graduation ceremony in the USA, the lead singer of U2 started by saying, "My name's Bono and I'm a rock star." In his speech, he urged graduates to carefully consider their personal big idea, and he said, "What are you willing to spend your moral capital, your intellectual capital, your cash, your sweat equity in pursuing outside the walls of the university?" He went on to say, "The world is more malleable than you think, and it's waiting for you to hammer it into shape." So I say to you, our graduates, what is your big idea? I hope your time at UWS has helped you identify what that vision might be. I hope it's helped you believe that you can achieve it and given you the clarity on how you can make your own dream, believe, achieve journey real to change and improve the lives of others. Now, UWS has achieved a lot. We're now delivering UWS higher education all over the world, and we've set in place the opportunity to be one of the largest providers of UK higher education globally. I therefore want to take this opportunity to thank our deans, our academic staff, our university recognised teachers and our professional service colleagues, all of whom have worked hard to support you, our wonderful students, to this end point today. UWS is part of a UK university system that educates more than 2.3 million students every year. There are nearly 16,000 students across the 5 campuses of our university, comprising mainly locally born Scottish students, but also more than 2,000 international students, including many from across Europe and students from 80 countries worldwide. UWS is known across the UK as a university that widens access better than almost any other university. We're very proud to attract the highest proportion of students from widening access backgrounds, and we've encouraged you to either experience an international period of study or integrate with our large international student body to add a further dimension to your graduate skills that employers value highly. Now I want to tell you a little story. So I want you to imagine a rural setting with hills and green fields, a stream, 2 young boys, one dressed in tartan shorts, the other in jeans, running around tending sheep, milking cows, feeding pigs, catching chickens, fishing, trapping rabbits, building tree houses, messing around under and growing up under the care and guidance of a grandmother while their parents worked. I'm talking about Bruce's sons, and I'm one of those sons. As a child, I had no exposure to anybody who'd been to university. Education was valued in my household, but not fully understood. Both our parents left school when they were 11 years of age and started work. As a child, I wanted to be a pop star. I really did. As I grew older, I wanted to be the Prime Minister of Australia. And later in my teens, I set about becoming a world-class professional squash player. Now, the first 2 of those I haven't achieved yet, but the third one was realised, and I was a shy child. Having gone to university merely because my older brother had gone and no longer wearing those tartan shorts, I studied chemistry and maths and became a secondary school teacher. But sport continued to attract my attention, and I applied for and was interviewed for a director of the Tasmanian Institute of Sport. I didn't get the job, I came second, but I was accepted onto a master's degree at Birmingham University in England. And so began a career shift. In the late 80s, I took a job as a research assistant at Queen's University of Belfast, where I completed a PhD, and then started a leadership climb. I was a lecturer, a program leader, I was a head of department, I was a dean of faculty, I was a deputy vice-chancellor. I left the university system and became a CEO, and then I returned to this job here at UWS as the principal and vice-chancellor 4 years ago. Now, you don't need to know about my life story, but the point of that story is that you have no idea where your journey's going to take you, graduates. I'm 13,000 miles away from where I grew up. So be prepared to seize the opportunity, because fortune favours the brave. Now, as you bask in the reflected glory of your achievements today, surrounded by family, friends or classmates, take a little time to congratulate yourselves on choosing UWS, one of the most progressive universities anywhere in the world. Graduates, you probably can't imagine the relief your families have today that you've succeeded on that journey. This would be a very good time to ask them for money. But please don't forget UWS. We are your alma mater, and you are now part of a special worldwide network of more than 70,000 UWS graduates, our alumni, many of whom have gone on to achieve fame, fortune, and greatness in their chosen field. Our UWS Alumni Association will contact you soon to explain our aspirations and see if you wish to be a part of that. However, I encourage all of you to tell the world about UWS and inspire others to follow your example toward this life-changing experience. Like all universities, we have huge ambitions related to teaching, research, global engagement, sustainability, and the enhancement of a worldwide image. Our motto, Doctrina Prosperitas, success through learning, linked with our corporate strategy strapline, Dream, Believe, Achieve, I believe beautifully encapsulate why UWS is different to other universities and committed to developing a new 21st century approach to higher education that dares to be different, that places students at the heart of learning, and that transforms lives. We will keep developing our curriculum, the pedagogy that underpins its delivery, and build on the range of business and international partnerships that ensure you are work relevant. Our recently approved new graduate attributes will help you identify the sorts of skills and abilities that you, as universal, work-ready, successful UWS graduates have, which employers want. By studying at UWS, you haven't just learned about your subject and achieved a qualification. You've gained so much more that will be with you for the future. During your time here, you have all contributed to the university community, whether by volunteering, representing your fellow students, undertaking work experience, or playing sport for the university. And you have all left a lasting impact on the university. I believe that if you use the same willpower that saw you successfully complete your studies at UWS, you can achieve any goals and ambitions you have for the future. Never stop chasing your dreams. Never, ever give up. Everything you've acquired of value during your time at UWS is now locked inside of you. As the American leadership expert John Gordon said, small minds can't understand big dreams. Well, as you're all here today successfully graduating, we know that you all have big minds. So go into the world confident of the valuable contribution you can make. On behalf of my colleagues, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy and enjoyable day, and to our graduates, great success, health and happiness for the future. I'm immensely proud of each and every one of you. So, make choices, make a difference, have fun, and you won't go far wrong. It's time to open the door and let your dreams begin. Thank you.
Chancellor, it is my privilege to present to you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Trevor John Sorby, MBE, known, I believe, in the trade as the godfather of hairdressing. Trevor Sorby was born in 1949 right here in Paisley and lived with his parents and his brother Michael in a tenement in Blackhall Street with a shared toilet and a tin bath coming out on a Friday night for him and Michael. From his street, the young Trevor can recall seeing the workers going in and out of the Anchor Mill. He can surely claim to be a Paisley buddy. Trevor went to school in Paisley, schools that are long since gone. He enjoyed and was good at three things at school. Like many youngsters, he liked sport, and he was quite good at sport. He also liked art, and he was good at art, going along to Saturday morning art classes at the Paisley Museum. The third thing that Trevor liked was girls, and I suspect he was quite good with them as well. In fact, by the time he was just 11, Trevor was going steady. When his parents told him they were taking him and Michael to their uncle's in the south of England for 2 weeks' holiday. Now, parting is such sweet sorrow, and Trevor said goodbye to his girlfriend and asked her to wait for him. What in fact he didn't know was that this was no holiday. The family were emigrating to Essex, and he never returned. So if you see a wee forlorn woman hanging about at the corner of Blackwall Street, this man is responsible. But the story doesn't end there. A local newspaper picked up the story a few years ago and decided that they would reunite the lovebirds. They traced a girlfriend and flew her down to London to one of Trevor's salons, and the pair were reunited at last, over 40 years later. It's fair to say that absence had not made the heart grow fonder, and young love was not reignited. However, she did get a trip to London and a haircut from one of the world's top stylists, so I would say that was fair recompense for being jilted when you're 11. Now, life was quite different for Trevor in Ilford. He quickly learned to change his Scottish accent, but school was really not the best days of his life, and Trevor left at the age of 15 without any qualifications at all to become an apprentice in his father's barber's shop, forgetting at that stage of his dreams of becoming a famous artist. However, as his story unfolds, you will see that he did indeed become a world-famous artist, only working through a different medium. Within 3 months of working with his father, Trevor was cutting hair. He joined a local hairdressing college, met Vidal Sassoon, who clearly saw something special in Trevor's talents, and the rest, as we say, is history. By 1972, Trevor was working as a stylist for Vidal Sassoon and quickly developing a reputation within the industry, working with the great names of hairdressing, including Toni and Guy and John Frieda. He created his own iconic looks, such as the scrunch, the chop, and the wedge. I indeed recall cutting a picture of the wedge out of a magazine as a teenager and heading to my local hairdressers. Now, stretching it a bit to call it a salon, it was more foam rollers and perm rods in those days in salons in Stewarton. But I sat in the hairdresser's chair and the hairdresser asked, as he always do, "What are we doing today?" I showed her the picture of the wedge. She looked at it, she looked at me, she ran her fingers through her hair a few times, looked at the picture again, screwed up her face and said, "I don't think so, Hen, you've not got the right hair for that." I left the shop bitterly disappointed with what she described as an Ayrshire version of the chop, which did not resemble Trevor Sorby's version of the chop in any shape or form. But to be fair, I didn't resemble Trevor Sorby's model in any shape or form either. Trevor launched his first salon in Covent Garden in 1979 and launched his own product range in 1986. Over 30 years later, these products, albeit an expanded range of products, are still selling across the world. Trevor went on to open salons in Brighton, Manchester, second London salon in Hampstead, another in Richmond, training academies in London and Shanghai. Alongside that, Trevor was fast becoming the face of hairdressing, appearing in television shows including The Right Stuff, This Morning, Mary Queen of Shops, Watchdog, Faking It, Through the Keyhole. Indeed, he is the only hairdresser to be so well known that his vocation has been a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and The Weakest Link. And how many of us today have sat looking at magazines while we're at the hairdressers thinking, that's the style I want, and lo and behold, it's a Trevor Sorby-inspired design. His accolades and awards are staggering. Just make yourself comfortable now, because I'm going to run through highlights. I can't go through all of them, or we'd be here till the Paisley Fair. Let's start in 1985, when Trevor won the British Hairdresser of the Year, followed by 1986, London Stylist of the Year and British Hairdresser of the Year. In 1989, Avant-Garde Stylist of the Year and London Stylist of the Year. 1991, London Stylist of the Year and British Hairdresser of the Year. Inducted into the British Hairdressing Hall of Fame and Avant-Garde Stylist of the Year. The next year, 1992, British Hairdresser of the Year. 1997, Best Hair Cutter Worldwide. In 2003, Trevor was awarded the Fellowship of British Hairdressing for Inspirational Leadership. The following year, as well as being named Most Wanted Influential Hairdresser of 2004, Trevor was awarded an MBE in the Queen's New Year's Honours List. Now, I have it in very good authority that Mr. Sorby forgot to take his invitation to the palace. Just as well, by that time, he was such a well-kent face, he was instantly recognised, duly admitted, and received his award from the Queen. Now, how many of us, when we meet a hairdresser, especially one with the reputation of Trevor Sorby, the temptation would be to say, "What do you think I should do with my hair?" Was the Queen tempted to ask that? All I can say is, he was invited back to the palace a few weeks later. Did he have his scissors and comb in his pocket? Couldn't possibly comment, you'll have to ask Trevor. In 2006, Trevor was appointed Ambassador for Hairdressers of the World Against AIDS. And the same year, his career took a bit of a new path. When Trevor's sister-in-law, Jackie, was struggling with hair loss after cancer treatment, Trevor helped to create a wig for her that looked like real hair. As he witnessed the effect that having a well-cut wig had on her confidence and her self-esteem, he decided that he and his profession should be able to use their skills to support women facing hair loss, and his charity, My New Hair, was launched. The concept behind the charity is to train salons and hairdressers to be able to trim and cut wigs to make them look real, and as such allows those suffering from hair loss through cancer treatment and other medical conditions to feel much more like themselves again. Through a series of workshops and seminars, stylists learn how to customise wigs, learning at the hands of the master. Since beginning his work in the charity, Trevor has given up his own salon work and now works freely, full-time in My New Hair. He has been involved in writing a national NHS policy for wigs since attending a parliamentary briefing in which to convince 25 MPs to lobby for better wig services for the NHS. My New Hair now works with salons the length and breadth of the country, working alongside key partner organisations such as Breast Cancer Care, the Lymphoma Association, Cancer Research UK, Teenage Cancer Trust, Macmillan Cancer Support, Maggie's, the Little Princess Trust, just to name a few. My New Hair now has national and an international network of hairdressers and salons trained to the high standards, running from Canada to Cambodia via, of course, salons in Paisley, in Hamilton, in Ayr, and right throughout the rest of the UK. A truly fitting legacy for Jackie. And now we're back to awards. In 2007, Trevor was awarded the Creative Head Award for the most innovative concept for My New Hair. In 2012, he was given the Hair and Beauty Benevolent Humanitarian Award, the Great Scott Contribution to Fashion Award, the INAA Scottish Health and Beauty Lifetime Achievement Award, the National Hairdressing Federation Lifetime Achievement Award, and then in 2014, the Tribute Award Lifetime Achievement. At the time of accepting the Hair and Beauty Benevolent Award, Trevor said, "I'm in the last chapter of my hairdressing career, but nothing has given me more satisfaction than my work with My New Hair. It has given me a whole new dimension to job satisfaction, using my skills to give something back to society and do something truly meaningful. It isn't about hair, it's psychological medicine for women who are suffering hair loss through illness." He may have said he's in the last chapter of his career, but he's still very much the winner to watch. Last November, on Women's Hour on Radio 4, as the hairdressing industry was preparing for the British Hairdressing Awards, Dame Jenny Murray posed a question: why, if there were so many more women than men in the profession, were the awards always dominated by Trevor Sorby? Well, maybe it's because Trevor Sorby's a bit special. Vidal Sassoon said of him, "A brilliant career created by the combination of original thinking with superb technical ability." Curator UK, the reference website for hairdressing, says of Trevor, "He is no ordinary hairdresser. Listed in Debrett's and the international edition of Who's Who, he is a hairstylist who has won more awards than Nicole Kidman, travelled more air miles than Richard Branson, and satisfied more women than even a decade's worth of rippling Chippendales ever managed." Yet his philosophy in life is simple in everything he does, from styling to teaching to business and leadership, and of course in the creation of My New Hair. Trevor believes in taking the ordinary and making it extraordinary, a philosophy which fits firmly with the aspirations of UWS. This ordinary boy from Paisley has led an extraordinary life, had an extraordinary career, and made an extraordinary contribution to his profession, to business, to charity, and society. Accordingly, Chancellor, I now present to you for the award of Honorary Degree of the Doctor of University, Trevor Sorby, MBE.
Chancellor, on behalf of the School of Business and Enterprise, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled The Impact of Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises on Poverty Alleviation, Evidence from Northern Nigeria. Beatrice Dara Isa. And with a thesis entitled Reform of Contempt of Court in Facie Currei in Scotland, Alan Thomas Moore. And with a thesis entitled Knowledge Management for Innovation and Product Development in Supply Chains, Li-Shin Wang. And for the degree of Master of Business Administration, with distinction, Alison Ann Farrell. And for the degree of Master of Business Administration, Bulbul Ahmed. Paulina Gertzen. Tan Tien Ha. Mohammed Hossein. Mohammed Javed. Ngok Chen Li. Surendra Maharajan. Mohammed Koisor Mia. Anup Uli. Abdul Rauf. Florian Celine André Roch. Fawd Sahirio. Tanyalak Sarawong. Mayan Ali Chan. And for the degree of Master of Science, Digital Marketing with distinction, and winner of the Court Medal, Leanne Campbell. And for the degree of Master of Science, Digital Marketing, with distinction, the following students: Karen Laura Craig, Lindsay Davidson, Benjamin Paul Schroeter, and for the degree of Master of Science, Digital Marketing, Harvey Anderson. Alan Carmichael. Zhao Chen. Harmondot Kaur Gill. Nazmul Hassan. Sharanya Parthipan. Sadikur Rahman. And for the degree of Master of Science, Finance and Accounting with SEMA, with distinction, the following students: Carrie Duncan, Amanda Vivian Young, and for the degree of Master of Science, Finance and Accounting with SEMA, Mohammed Rumen Hussain. Sadakat Hussain. Samantha Jane Matheson. Anuradha Nandi. Tembikile Nkosi. Patrick Genot. Malgarsata Lydia Migdal. And for the degree of Master of Science, International Management, Evgenia Bukharev. Stepan Bulishev. Maria Fyodorova. Ilya Filatov. Ilya Gregov. Svetlana Sergeyevna Nikitina. Maxim Tislevich. Tatiana Vrotnikova. Yulia Zeldak. And for the degree of Master of Science, International Marketing Management, with distinction, Victoria Jane McPhee. And for the degree of Master of Science, International Marketing Management, Lee Payne. Vanessa Lynn Salthouse. And for the degree of Master of Science, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Andrew Stewart Cochrane. Scott Brian Cochtry. David Luke Greenslade. Marta Machut. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, Sandwich Award, with honours, Bethany Mary Wilmer. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, with first class honours and winner of the Court Medal, Jamie McLachlan. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, with first class honours, the following students: Stephen Anderson, David Baxter, Scott Gary Brogan, Claire Kerr, Atta Mohammed Mahmood, Jordan Alexander McCleary, Chantel Chloe McMillan, Martin Bell Melvin, Mark Gordon Murdoch, Scott Robert Stewart, Jay Gurdeep Tumani, Mohammed Usman, Graham Wilson. Vanessa Wilson. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting with honours, Usman Aftab. Azaz Ahmad. Arib Ahmed. Saim Ahmed. Florence Ahura. Alia Akram. Fida Ali. Freshte Amiripuk. Salman Anwar. Desiree Abok Sandra Asaba. Kiflon Taisi Berhe. Cameron Andrew Boyd. Paul Burke. Lee James Callender. Chloe Hong Yi Cheng. Kyle Christie. Caitlin Corrigan. Fatou Nadine Diabate. Armel Clovis Diomo. Ross James Donald. David John Fizas Vital. Usman Ghafour. Angelica Godge. Zoe Henderson. Anita Hamza. Hassan Khalid. Daniel Kez Khan. Neelam Jamil Khan. Laura Lamy. Adam John McIntosh Lutit. Stephen McFarlane. Ellie Mackay. Lorna Louise McPherson. Mohammed Kazim Mahmoud. Zoya Khalil Malik. Timoleon Mbue. Stephen McCall. Linda Jennifer McCulloch. Lindsay McGowan. Beth McKendry. Rebecca Louise McEachen. Haley Lindsay McMillan. Colleen Catherine Meehan. Declan Dalgleish Milligan. Jordan Mogford. Naila Ferdus Mohammed. Leanne Kelly Morrison. Diane Mulholland. Joseph Mwanza. Mohammed Mohsin Nasir. Brian Nedley. Patrius Petar Payeknik. Ailey Louise Robertson. Suzanne Roden. Happiness Amos Sama. Shoaib Siddiq. Sulaiman Sowi. Faiza Sulaiman. Bryony Louise Suttle. Matthias Czechka. Adnan Tahir. Nida Tariq. Tehrim Bahar Ullah. Megan Ellen Margaret Viviers. Nina Cherry Young. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, with distinction, Pamela Donnelly. And for the degree of Bachelor of Accounting, Paul Boyle. Sarah Marie Ann Davidson. Isabella Gwitek. And finally, Callum Murray.
Chancellor, on behalf of the School of Education, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled From School Teacher to University Academic, Exploring Practice, Values and Identity Within and Between Professional Communities, Marjorie Ann McCrory. And for the postgraduate certificate in Teaching and Learning in Higher Education, Donna Catherine Monroe. Taranjit Singh Rai. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, English as a Second Language, with first-class honours, and winner of the Court Medal, Clara Emily Jahan Bazil. And finally, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, English as a Second Language, with first-class honours, Myra David.
Chancellor, on behalf of the Scottish Baptist College, I present to you, for the degree of Bachelor of Divinity, Theology with Pastoral Studies with honours, Des Johnson. Christy Louise Passmore. Well done. And finally, Joshua David Shearer. Well done.
Chancellor, on behalf of the School of Health, Nursing and Midwifery, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis entitled Physical Factors that Influence Bacterial Biofilm Formation on Surfaces Found in the Built Environment, Sean Nelson Robertson. And for the degree of Master of Science, Health Studies, Elizabeth Jane Aitken. Gail Fulton. And for the degree of Master of Science, Health Studies, Family Health, Jacqueline Kerr. And for the degree of Master of Science, Maternal and Child Health, Lisa Joan Milner-Smith. And for the degree of Master of Science, Nursing with Distinction, Jane Emily Gilchrist. And for the degree of Master of Science, Nursing, William Stewart Halliday. Louise McGaw. And for the degree of Master of Science Vulnerability, Nicola Gillespie. And for the postgraduate diploma in Advancing Practice, Cancer and Palliative Care, Lorna Elizabeth McNichol. And for the postgraduate diploma in Cognitive Behavioural Therapy with Distinction, Beverly Ann Eisen. And for the postgraduate diploma in Cognitive Behavioural Therapy, Patricia Mary Duggan. And for the postgraduate diploma in Specialist Community Public Health Nurse, Health Visitor, Sharon Louise Armstrong. Lisa Marie Clark. Nicole Edith Fitzpatrick. Kerry Kazmarek. Michelle McCandless. Donna Russell. Yvonne Sampson. Elizabeth Ann White. And for the postgraduate diploma in Specialist Practitioner District Nurse, Fiona Isabel Cruikshanks. And for the Graduate Certificate in Sexual and Reproductive Health, Elizabeth Ann Donnelly. Ashley Victoria Meikle. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Integrated Health and Social Care with Administration, with First Class Honours, Zira Lee Graham Nimmo. And for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Integrated Health and Social Care, with First Class Honours and winner of the Court Medal, Victoria Josephine Clooney. and for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Integrated Health and Social Care with first-class honours, the following students: Caroline Anderson, Leanne Margaret Gillis, Teresa Gribben, and for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Integrated Health and Social Care with honours, Ashley Marjorie Brown. Hayley Charlene Ferguson. Natasha Marshall. Fiona Susan McRae. Stacey Watson. And for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Adult Nursing, Maxine Davidson. Laura Dempster. Jodie Kelly Donnelly. Ivy Evian Manola Evangelista. Nicole Gallagher. Niamh Gilgun. Lauren Gordon. Amanda Kyle. Heather Jane McCabe. Rebecca Louise McGlynn. Julie Elizabeth McWilliams. Fraser Graham Warwick. Lisa Watson, and for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Health Studies, Kebali Bali Gilib Develvi. Shishenga Kunda Sitembo. And for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Mental Health Nursing, Michael Anthony Bulger. Tanya Gormley. And finally, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Professional Health Studies, Pamela Boyd. Chancellor, finally, it gives me great pleasure to present to you our winner of the Amundsen Trophy for Personal Endeavour and Achievement, Victoria Josephine Clooney.
Chancellor, graduates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great honour for me to receive this doctorate. But before I go on and say any more, I just want to congratulate all the graduates today. This is the first step to success on that ladder, and I applaud you for that. I really do. Now, one thing Sandra didn't mention was that after 5 years of working for my father as a barber, I actually quit hairdressing. I got bored, fed up. So I decided to change professions. And I was looking in a hair magazine, and there were advertising for representatives for Gillette razor blades. And I went along to a very posh hotel in London. I was waiting in the waiting area, and I saw all these very sharp-looking guys with suits and slick-back hair and everything, and I thought, I've got no chance, but I'm going to try and wing it. And I had long hair, and I had it all cut off. And it was my turn to go into the interview, and it was just like you would see in a film, big, long table, a guy sitting at the end of it. So he said, right, Mr. Sorby, what's your qualifications? I didn't have any for a start. I said, I've got an A in English, a C in maths, geography I got a B in. And I'm not a very good liar because he could see right through me, and obviously I didn't get the job. Now, I didn't really want the job. I wanted the car that came with the job, but I didn't get either. So I thought, oh no, I'm not cut out for this. I found hairdressing easy initially, and I went back to my mum and dad and I said, look, Mum, I said, I'm going to go back into hairdressing, but it has to be ladies' hairdressing. Men's hairdressing was boring for me. I wanted to put hair up, perm hair, colour hair, do all the bits, and surround myself with women all day. You're looking at me like that. Yeah, so they sent me to a college in Baker Street in London. It was called the Richard Henry School of Hairdressing. It was a 6-month course. It cost £100, and then that was a lot of money, certainly for my parents. I went through the course, and on the last day of the course, the principal of the college came up and said, Trevor, I see something in you that's a bit special. I said, really? He says, yeah. He says, I think, you know how you see special things in other people, but you don't see it in yourself. So I thought, okay, I'll take that compliment. So he sent me to Vidal Sassoon, and in those days, that was the name to work for. On my first day at Vidal Sassoon, I used to live in Harlow in Essex, and it was a 1.5-hour train ride to get into the West End. And on my first day, I arrived, and I was like really nervous, but excitedly nervous. And the manager came up to me and said, you can't wear that. I had a roll neck sweater on. He said, you can't wear that. I said, oh, nobody told me I couldn't. He said, no, that's not the rule. So he said, go home and get changed. I went, what? He said, go home and get changed. So back on the train, an hour and a half to get home, got the roll neck off, back to work. I mean, I spent 4.5 hours going to work that day and about 1 hour at work. So I didn't get off to a very good start at all. But in the time that I was at Sassoon's, I think this is where I was a little bit different. I never used to sit in the staff room because there was just bad vibes. You know, every company has people that inside they're like bad apples and they affect other people. I didn't want to be involved in any of that. I used to stand on the floor all the time watching these great hairdressers. Now, in life, there are things that you know you cannot do. For example, I would never jump out of an airplane with a parachute on, never. I know I couldn't do that, I haven't got the nerve. I wouldn't do a bungee jump in case the elastic broke. But when I was looking at these great hairdressers, I just thought, I don't know, I want to be one of them. And it was a dream that was possible, and it was achievable. But I'd have to work hard and get much better in all the skills that you need to be a hairdresser. And I never went to sort of be a top hairdresser like that, but what I did and how I got there was I set a goal. I set an achievable goal, something that I knew it would push me, but I could do it because I knew what I could do. And I set another goal when I've achieved that, and so on, and so on. And before you know where you are, you look down and you've climbed that ladder. And you can take that ladder as high as you want, which is what I've tried to do. And that, I went into business in 1970-something. My memory's gone these days. Yeah. And we started off modest salon in Covent Garden, and if 50 people walked past the shop, it was a busy day, because what Covent Garden is now is not what it was. Thousands of people walked past. I've turned that one little shop into a multi-million-pound company. not just me. Okay, I may be the front man and do the creative stuff, but I surrounded myself with people that were good at what they did. Accountancy, you know, numbers and all the business stuff, which I've got no interest whatsoever. So that's kind of from start to finish how it ended up. But all of that, it's been and gone. I never dwell on it. I never think about it. In fact, when Sandra was reading out all those achievements, I was like, oh my God, that's pretty impressive. And anyway, I don't dwell on the past. I'm much more interested in the future, because that's where I'm going. And the thing that really, really is in my heart is my charity, My New Hair. Now, let me just add 2 minutes on this subject, because this can affect people in this room. When a woman is diagnosed with cancer, there's 2 questions that she asks the doctor or the surgeon, and they're in this order. Will I die? First one. If I was diagnosed, that would be my first question. And the second one is, will I lose my hair? Well, it wouldn't worry me about that one. But a woman, if you take hair, now I do this, I have hundreds and hundreds of women that I look after. When you take hair away from a woman, you've just taken half the woman away. Her confidence, her femininity. It has a ripple effect, cancer. You can lose your job. You can not allowed to go on holiday. If you're a single mum, you might not be able to pay your mortgage. You can lose your partner, and so on and so on. And it's the most devastating thing, obviously, that anything can happen to anyone. Now, I was doing quite a lot of television at the time. I've passed my sell-by date, so I don't do much now. But I reached about 40 million people, because I knew some of the people in the TV world, and they were asking me about what I was doing. And they put me on TV, Lorraine, This Morning, all those sort of programs. And as I say, I reached many millions of people. Well, the phone started ringing, and I was, right, yeah, so you want a wig cut? Yeah, come. Now, I don't charge a penny for what I do. And bear this, and I'm not trying to show off here. This is a fact of life. I charge, if I do a haircut, I charge £200, right? I get away with it. So, this is a reality. I can do 10 clients a day at £200. I can work 5 days a week. I can earn £10,000 a week. I earn nothing. What do I get back from it? There's something, the payment I get is right in here. And I don't get money, but what I do get is a thank you card. You may say, well, that's no big deal. Yes, it is. It's not an email, it's not typed, it's handwritten. And the words, and my wife's sitting in front and she knows, she sees these cards. The word life-changing is often used. Now, I'm not saving a life, but I'm helping a woman get through the darkest time of her life. Now, when you're diagnosed, the surgeons do what they do, okay? The nurses administer the chemo. But there's this bit that's missing, the hair. Now, the medical profession, to me, are unsung heroes, absolutely unsung. But they consider hair loss to be cosmetic. They're more interested in saving your life. I get that. Of course they are. But hairdressers can help. They really can. And I stand up in front of all my peers, all the industry leaders, manufacturers, and I say, listen, you lot, I said, I do this work to help people. We open our arms to people that are well and healthy, and we bring them into our salons to help beautify them, pamper them, make them feel really good about themselves. Yeah, we do that. But I tell you what we don't do, we don't send that same message out to people that really need our help. And it's not just my responsibility, it's our industry's responsibility. So I decided to set up a charity. I work very closely with L'Oreal, the company, and they allow me to use their training facilities. And once a month, I train 15 hairdressers at every seminar. We have qualified lecturers that teach communication skills. It's a whole different conversation when you're talking to somebody that's in a bad place. You don't start, oh, well, where are you going on your holidays, love? None of that. It's much more sensitive. And I've now trained 1,000, just over 1,000 hairdressers to do what I do. And L'Oreal want to take it internationally, cancers everywhere. We're going to kick off in Canada and Dubai. And I'll do this until I can't stand up anymore. But if you want to really know, this is the best part of my hairdressing career. All that fluff and puff on telly and all that stuff, that is that thin. What I'm dealing with is that fat. And that's my quest. That's how I'll end up being a hairdresser. And oh, and by the way, I'm going to open a salon in Glasgow in the near future. And if anyone wants a haircut after the show, come see me. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, many, many congratulations. You're now graduates of this university, and I hope you will return to this university on many occasions and indeed support it in the future. Dr. Sorby, many, many thanks indeed for that wonderful speech. I too am married to a hairdresser. I have been for many, many years, and I'm not a beneficiary today. I did this myself, I'd like you to know. But I was very embarrassed given that Trevor Sobby was going to be here today. But I do know the importance of hairdressers. They're psychologists, they can be psychiatrists, they provide immense support to many of us. And what you're doing in this charity is of huge significance. And thank you so much on behalf of all of us for what you're doing. Can I also at this opportunity to thank Dr. Sandra Hill. Sandra introduced Trevor this afternoon and many, many other students. She has been a great inspiration over many years to students who are going into business or going into our society and communities to make wealth, to make us succeed as a community and to be able to feed ourselves. And can't emphasise sufficiently the thanks of this university for her many years of devotion and dedication to us and to our students. And indeed to the many other fellows and lecturers and professors we have here today. Your degrees, I think you'll agree, are not something you got on your own, so perhaps you'd like to acknowledge the inspiration, the support that you got from your professors and lecturers who are here today. Can I also ask our graduates to perhaps accept that the degree you've got is not just your own degree. Your degree is shared by these people who are sitting around you and here at the side. Your parents, your loved ones, your brothers, sisters who've had to put up with you during the tetchy days of exams and essays that were late, who made tea and coffee, supplied you with biscuits, who've given you money on occasion and who've looked after you, who have loved and who have supported you. And that love and support will not end today with your graduation. It will be with you for the rest of your lives. And indeed, no one, no matter how important, not even Dr. Sorby here, would ever say on their deathbed that they wish they spent more time at the office. But people do ask about whether they spend enough time with their families. So in the future, can I take this opportunity to say to you, give your families the gift of your time in the future. That is so precious. And perhaps to acknowledge the gift of all that support they've given you. You can get to your feet, if you can see them even better, and show them how much you appreciate what they have done to date. Come on. I now close this academic assembly, and in doing so, may I very kindly invite you all to join us in the Brough Hall for a reception. Thank you very much indeed.